Five guys going over there.
Okay. Yep.
Come on.
How you got there?
How you doing? Are you gonna miss it?
Yeah. Oh. Again?
Well, do they only have 3 guys on them boats?
I think it's a 4-person crew.
Are they 4?
And some of them are female.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You think it might be? Okay. It's out of the no wake zone. Hit him now. Hit it. Oh, look at the blue light. Kmart special. I remember the chair had. Thanks, Captain. Police. Coast Guard. Different halls. Oh, that is. Excuse me. Second. What a shot of a belly.
You want a big pigeon? We've been wet before.
You're all shipmates here.
We've been wet before.
Yeah. Oh.
What happened to the cannons? You know, they got to have some kind of pump.
Oh, yeah, you ain't kidding there.
Vietnam
I think they
Unit
closed
Memorial,
up the...
and have the privilege of seeing on a daily basis the 3 brownwater boats that are displayed there. I've often wondered what it would be like to get underway on one of those boats. Now I may have that opportunity, as will thousands of others over the coming years. My hope is that those who have the privilege of touring and or riding on this swift boat in the future can, in some small way, sense the courage, commitment, and sheer guts it took to serve on these fine vessels. This is an exciting addition to the San Diego waterfront, and thank you again for the honor of being part of this special ceremony. Thank you.
San Diego County. I know one of the things that has really set the Maritime Museum apart is the fact that they really have focused on the youth of this community. And the youth of this community now will have another part of history that is very, very important to celebrate and to focus on, and that's some of the military craft that were part of the Vietnam War. Obviously, the Vietnam War was controversial in some parts, but it was an important part of our history. And we're so fortunate today to have these veterans of swift boats that are here, a part of this celebration. I honor you, and I certainly respect everything you've done. And it's great to have you to be a part of this celebration every day.
Good morning. I'm pleased to be here today to share the stage and welcoming Swift Boat PCF 816 to San Diego Maritime Museum. And I'd point out that today's forces, the successor forces, are well represented. The sailors in the back and the camouflage of the 2 boats that you saw flanking PCF 816 coming in this morning are members of the Maritime Expeditionary Security Force, soon to be named, as of the 1st of October, the Coastal Riverine Force. I serve as the commander of Coastal Riverine Group 1, headquartered right here in San Diego, and one of 2 groups that form the Navy's Coastal Riverine Force, currently at a fighting strength of about 4,500. My sailors and I are the inheritors of a long tradition of nearshore and inshore operations that naval forces have been conducting since the birth of our nation. We and our predecessors have been charged with protecting the seashore interface around the world, where the line between warfighting and law enforcement is sometimes blurry, and across which our national security interests depend. Like those who fought in the brown water in Vietnam, today's coastal warfighters are on station at times and places where our joint forces require assured access to nearshore and inshore facilities. We provide the capabilities to carry that security to offshore facilities and sea bases if necessary, and to bring tailored packages inshore via inland waterways, deltas, and rivers, as local geography dictates. So today, we hail the arrival of a great craft, having been a powerful symbol in its day, and now again as a museum piece to remind us and future generations of the important work our Swift Boat and riverine sailors conducted during their service in Vietnam. May this craft call to mind the contributions its most vital assets, the sailors assigned to Task Force 115 in Operation Market Time and Task Force 194 in Operation Sea Lord, that they once made in creating a stable and secure environment for our nation's forward deployed military forces. From where I sit in my role within Coastal Riverine Group 1, I can tell you that one theme clearly sets this community apart from others in the Navy, and that is that being a swift boater was then and remains today a uniquely challenging duty, requiring a balancing act unlike any other to manage multiple tasks in multiple locations with personnel armed and standing continuously in harm's way. I know from engagement with my own sailors operating today in Kuwait, Djibouti, Bahrain, Spain, and numerous other places around the world that the pressure and pace of operations in this work is immense. There are complexities of split deployments, limited control, command and control, limited access to supplies, short mission turnarounds, and a high operational tempo, all of which require a maximum effort to plan and prepare young Americans to deter always, attack when required, and defend seamlessly designated high-value assets on land and sea.
Mayor Sanders, Captain Lindsay, shouldn't have done that. Mr. Cox, Captain Moss, Mr. Dysart, Ray, Ashley, distinguished guests, and Swift Boat veterans. Thank you all for being here for this event, culminating 3 years of effort by the Swift Boat Sailors Association, by the Maritime Museum, and by the Republic of Malta to preserve the history of this unique role of these swift boats that they played in the U.S. Navy's mission in Vietnam. P-24 was originally designated by the U.S. Navy as PCF 816, and she served here in San Diego in 1969 as a training boat for those men getting ready to deploy to Vietnam. So we are here today to welcome home this boat after 44 years in the service of the Armed Forces of Malta's Maritime Squadron. Her history is like a fine wine that's gained character with age. This swift boat represents a welcome home for 3,500 men who served as crew or repaired and maintained these vessels. More than anything else, she is meant to honor the memory of 50 swift boat sailors who are still on patrol in Vietnam and the 7 swift boat sailors in Malta. Swift boats were designed for coastal surveillance and interdiction of the enemy's efforts to move supplies from Hanoi into South Vietnam. When you step aboard this swift boat, you will appreciate what it was like to patrol the coast of South Vietnam in violent storms, where these 22-ton boats were pitch-poled end over end or rolled over by 30-foot waves. In October 1968, Admiral Zumwalt, commander of U.S. Naval Forces Vietnam, devised a strategy to use swift boats to aggressively deny the Viet Cong use of the rivers and canals and make villages safe for the civilians to return to their homes. We felt patrolling the rivers was a welcome relief from the storms. We had significant firepower, speed, but the quarter-inch aluminum hull and cabin offered no protection for rocket-propelled grenades, AK-47s, and claymores hanging in trees. We were very effective in our new mission, but our casualty rates soared. Sailors have a passion for the ships and the boats they man. They extol her victories and they defend her honor. Swift boat sailors perhaps feel that passion more intensely than most. Each boat, with a crew of 6 very young men, depended on each other, trusted each other, and in a year's time became as close as family. It is that intimacy which bonds these men to each other and to the swift boats.